Scott, thanks for joining us. After Saturday's thrilling game against Gillingham, we are at home again to Accrington, Stanley. What are your thoughts heading into that one?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, being at home again, so a game we're looking forward to. We've kind of looked at it as a squad. The next three games, Gillingham, obviously this game and the Salford game, and I think probably no disrespect to the other two, but I think this potentially could be the hardest one in many ways, based on the fact that they're in a good run of form at the moment, Accrington, and having watched them play, they're a handful. They work extremely hard. For the manager, for the club, for the badge. They land on second balls. They're game. They've got some real attacking threats. Isaac Heath plays wide left on loan from Everton's a very good player. Really like him. Up front, they've got some really strong players. I think that the lad who's been playing, Tyler Walton, real handful. I'm not sure whether he'll be fit or not. I think there might be a doubt there. If so, Paddy Madden comes into play. So they've got some really good players. And yeah, I kind of watched them and thought this is going to be tough. We need to be really at it. So we're really mindful of that, and our prep's been kind of towards that.
Yeah, absolutely right. But the good news is that Accrington are probably looking at this fixture and thinking this is not a great time to play Crawley as well. We're obviously one of the most informed teams in the league, and our home form of late has been really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to comment on what they think about us. That's down to them. But we've just got to make sure that we're mindful of what they bring, but be really good ourselves. And yeah, we're in a good spot at the moment. I think that we're kind of in form. Our performances have been good. The results have obviously been good of late, certainly in the league. I felt that maybe we deserved more from the game on Saturday at Gillingham than we got. Made that clear kind of after the game in the press that I felt that we deserved to win the game. I think that we were up against a couple of, bad decisions. And listen, I spoke to Mike Jones as well, and a lot of Gillingham fans were talking about the Bradley Dack header being offside. Speaking to Mike Jones, he said technically it's offside because the corner taker is the one who's offside. He's the one that they flagged, not Bradley Dack, and it takes a touch. The first contact's actually a touch from a Gillingham player, and we kind of work on defending corners. We squeeze the line quite quickly, so as soon as the ball's in play, we get up. And the corner taker was actually offside, so technically it is offside. And we obviously were a bit aggrieved about the penalty decision for sure. And I mentioned about the foul in the lead to the first goal on the corner. I felt it was a foul. They didn't, but it is what it is. And it's you could probably look at it as a good point away from home at Gillingham. Tough place to go. But I was disappointed to drop two.
Yeah, I suppose after a performance like that, it can only be a good thing that we're obviously back at home where we've been so good. And what's the general reaction been like in training? Because, there wasn't many feet that the lads put wrong on Saturday, was there?
No, we debriefed the game and kind of went through lots of positive clips and just reinforced what we're doing, really. It was an easy meeting in many ways because we're doing a lot right. And just to reinforce, and keep going, keep believing, and the results are starting to turn now. So we've just got to really kick forward now and use that as a vehicle to move us up the table.
Yeah, it must be clear for the players to see as well, because in countless interviews at the start of the season where the performances were there, but the results weren't going our way, a lot of the lads were always, we trust the process, we're sticking with the process. So it must be, a great sense of reward to see that sort of process come into fruition.
Yeah, for sure. I think that you can see the team really believe in themselves now. I think in training, just around the place, in the building, you can feel it. They really believe in it and believe in what we're doing. So pleasing from my point of view. I think that's probably been my hardest challenge this season, is to keep them believing in what we're doing, and it is a process. Because when you're, in the bottom two and you're trying to tell them, keep going, we're doing all right, we're playing well, it's sometimes hard for you to keep that belief going. But I'm pleased that they listened, and I'm pleased that they have taken on board kind of that belief, because now they're showing, and I think the whole country saw it on Saturday, that we're a good side. I got so many messages afterwards saying, you look a really good team. You don't deserve to be where you are. But I've always known that. My staff have always known that, and I think the players have deep down probably always known that. But hopefully now we'll see us away from that bottom area of the division. So we've just got to now kind of really press forward.
Scott, Accrington Stanley play a similar sort of shape to your side, 3 at the back as well. How has that factored into your preparation for Saturday's game?
I always look at the shape. Because we need to look at 2 factors really: how we press them, what kind of press do we put onto them, and of course we want to look at spaces where we can get our spaces on the ball as well. We always look at the team shape of what they do and how they set up. But being impressed by them, they've had some really good results, and you can see why. They're very game. They'll work extremely hard. They'll come after you, and they've got good players.
The list at Gillingham at the weekend was 9 unavailable, you said, with some on international duty and suspended as well. What's that number at now?
Probably 2 to add to it, based on Kahim Dixon coming back off international duty. Dion Pereira's come back with an injury, so he won't be included. And Harry McCurdy looks like he'll be available for selection, so probably be 2 added on to what we had.
And have you got an update on Max Anson, who came off earlier?
Yeah, not good, unfortunately. There's a small fracture at the bottom of his femur, so he could be out for a while.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. I saw a stat this week that Crawley has the 2nd highest average possession share in the whole of the 92, I think equal with Liverpool. That must be pleasing to read, mustn't it?
Yeah, disappointing we're not first. If the truth be known, I'm being serious. I think that I want us to be top of everything. Whilst you might think I'm joking, I actually want to be the top. I want to be the best in the country at keeping the ball, and to be second isn't good enough for me.
Fair enough, and it's Cardiff top, isn't it? You haven't watched any of them, I suppose?
Yeah, no, I haven't watched any of them. No, if the truth be known, but yeah, I actually saw it. It was put out on Twitter somewhere. Someone showed or sent it to me. Cardiff top. I think we're joint with Liverpool, was it?
Yeah.
And then Grimsby, Chesterfield, and
Chelsea were below you.
Chelsea below us. Yeah. See, I've seen the stat, or I've seen the tweet that somebody put out. But yeah, I want to be top of that, not second.
Yeah, and I noticed on Saturday it was such a good performance from you guys. The XG seemed to have Gillingham higher XG than yourselves. I don't know if you can explain that, or
yeah, I can actually. And not many people saw this. Sam Gale, the centre half for Gillingham, had a header at the far post.
Yeah.
In the first half, and even Sky Sports didn't pick up on it. It was offside. I actually looked down the line at the chance and saw the linesman flag for offside. Jojo spotted the ball and played from the offside position. I think he just touched it to the left for Badge to bring the ball out. So yeah, it was an offside chance, but no one picked up on it. And even you look at all the platforms, they're all kind of having Gillingham as a higher XG because of that chance, because it was a big chance. Because he was only 2 yards out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He should have probably scored the chance, but because he was so close to the goal with no one to beat, it goes down as a really high XG. But like I say, it was offside, so no other platform really picked up on it, and Sky Sports didn't pick up on it. I've got my analyst, actually, because we use StatsBomb. Our analyst got in touch with StatsBomb to let them know your XG's wrong. The Sam Gale chance was offside. You need to correct it, and fair play, they did. But no one else, all the other platforms have not picked up on that. So that's why. So in effect, we did have a higher XG than Gillingham.
All right. So, and that's really important to you to get that, make sure those stats are right. So.
Well, what I do is I look at every single chance back on a Sunday when I watch the game back. I look at all the XG chances of all the chances that have created an XG, and I look at them and kind of understand how they've happened and how we've got in there or how they've got in, and I look at it in detail. So I knew that XG was wrong. So actually, it's the first time I've actually come across that where they've actually got something wrong like that. But yeah, it was definitely offside.
Yeah. And final from me, we spoke briefly about Erdem after the game, obviously made for director of football. Can you just give us a little bit of an insight how your relationship will work with Erdem? What's the kind of conversations will you have week to week?
Well, I think it's important that we, first of all, have a really good relationship, which we do already. You know, I really enjoy his company straight away. I think I've got on with him really well, and he's got on with me. He comes to the training ground on a Monday and a Friday. There is 2 days that he comes in. He feels that he's got to probably spend some time away from there because he needs to get his job done, i.e. making phone calls, i.e. looking at players on Y-Scout, whatever platform he uses, and kind of compiling lists of players. We're actually sitting down next week and having a recruitment meeting, and he'll go through what we call a depth chart of what the team will look like and what we need to bring in, what we need to potentially move on. And yeah, just getting kind of to grips with that. Of course, it's only around the corner, the January window, even though it feels like we've only just got the other window shut. This one's about to open. I know we're only in November, but the work needs to be done now. We actually need to be close to agreeing stuff now with players. You know, that's kind of how it's done.
Yeah.
Listen, our relationship has to be really key. I think it's clear to me already that he's a big supporter of the football club, which is big for me. I want that. You know, I think it's really key that he wants Crawley to do well, obviously, and he's got the club at heart. You know, he had, I don't know how many years here, 6 or 7 years here before with the previous owners, or previous to the previous owners, and he enjoyed his time here. He loved it, and he wanted to do well for the club. And I've really enjoyed working with him. He's a great guy. The staff really like him. He comes in, he joins in the banter. I think he sees that. I think he's seen quite clear, really, that we're working really hard, and I think it's clear to him that we know what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? And he's enjoyed the banter, and he's enjoyed the feeling around the place. I think he's quite shocked at how good it feels down at the training ground compared to us being at the bottom of the league or bottom end of the league. I think he's come in and enjoyed being around it. And he's probably missed it because I don't think, you know, I know he did a bit of agency work kind of in between, but there's nothing like being involved at a football club, and I think that he's going to be good for us.
Brilliant. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.